Hi everybody, this video is solving radical equations. If you don't have your Unit 7 notes out, please get them out and then start watching the video. All right, so what we have here are radical equations, equations with equal signs, which means we're going to solve for what x is. And you always need to check your solutions because we could have something called an extraneous solution, which is you'll get an answer for x, but when you plug it back in, it won't work. So you have to check to see, because we only want real solutions. So the first thing we have to do here is isolate the radical x, which means we need to subtract 7 from both sides. So I get the square root of x equals 5. And then I want to get x by itself, and right now it's underneath the radical. So the opposite of square rooting something is squaring. So I'm going to square both sides. So I'm going to get x equals 25. And then I'm going to plug it in. So when I do the check over here, I'm plugging it in for x. So I get the square root of 25 plus 7 equals 12. So then 5 plus 7 equals 12, and 12 equals 12. That is a true statement, so it worked. All right, so here, this one, the radical's already by itself, so I go ahead and start by squaring both sides first. So when I square both sides, it gets rid of the radical. It doesn't do anything underneath the radical, so you're just going to take that out, and it stays x minus 2. And on the right-hand side, 6 squared is 36. So now I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I get x equals 38. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the check. So when I plug it in over here to do the check, I'm going to say 38 minus 2 equals 6. 38 minus 2 is 36. 6. The square root of 36 is 6. 6 equals 6. Check. It is a true statement. All right, for number 3, again, you cannot square the radical until it's all alone. And right now it's not all alone. There's this positive 6 here. So the first thing you need to do is move that 6 over. Then once you do that, you can square both sides. Okay, so pause the video and try number 3. Okay, so did we all get x equals 2? But remember, we always have to check our work. So let's plug it back in. So we get the square root of 2 times 2 plus 6 equals 4. So when I square this, I'm going to get the square root of 4 plus 6 equals 4. So I get 2 plus 6 equals 4. And I get 8 equals 4, which is not a true statement, which meant this was an extraneous solution, which also means that since it doesn't work, and 8 equals 4 is not, so it doesn't give us a true statement, our answer is no solution. All right. Okay, so on number 4, the radical is already by itself, so we need to start by squaring both sides. And when we square both sides this time, you notice that you get an x squared equals x plus 12, which means that since I have an x squared and an x, I have 2 variables. And since it's x squared, I know it has to end up as a quadratic. So I need to set it equal to 0. So I need to subtract x from both sides and subtract 12 from both sides. So that's going to give me x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. And now that it's set equal to 0, I can factor it. So I'm looking for the factors of negative 12 that add to negative 1. So I get x minus 4 times x plus 3 equals 0. And then you need to go ahead and set, since those are both set equal to 0, we need to say x minus 4 equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0, and we have to solve for x. So here we're going to add 4. So one answer is x equals 4. And here I'm going to subtract 3. And I'm going to get x equals negative 3. All right, so go ahead and let's check both of those. So when I check them, I get 4 equals the square root of 4 plus 12. 4 equals the square root of 16. 4 equals 4, so that works. So x equals 4 is a solution. I'm going to plug in the next one. I get negative 3 equals the square root of negative 3 plus 12. Negative 3 equals the square root of 9, and I get negative 3 equals 3. That does not work, which means it's not a true statement, which means x minus 3 is extraneous. So my only solution is x equals 4. Okay, so you guys go ahead and try this next page, numbers 5 through 10. Then go ahead and check the answers online. They're posted under the topics page in My Viewpoint. And email me if you have any questions on any of the problems. You can take a picture and send me your work. Thank you for watching.